everybody, and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie Esther here, and as promised, the devs gave us part 2 of the developer update here with this Twitter post that reads, Part 2, take it. I think this is like supposed to be the newspaper boy throwing the paper at us. And we have the link here, which takes us straight to the forums. Mid-chapter developer update, part 2, September 2021. Let's get right into it. Back so soon? Welcome back to the developer update, a series of posts detailing some upcoming changes to Dead by Daylight. Previously went through a ton of changes, and we've got just as much in store today. If you haven't read part 1, you can find it here. I made a video about part 1 already, so we're going to move on. Without further ado, more killer updates. Wow, okay. The Deathslinger. We've kept an eye on the Deathslinger since his release last year, and we have a few small changes aimed at, get it, his power. Currently, there's almost no delay between aiming down sights and being able to fire your weapon. Likewise, there's almost no delay between canceling your shot and going for a basic attack. This creates lose-lose situations for the survivor, where there's nothing they can realistically do to avoid getting hit. For example, if they vault a window, you can easily aim down the sights and fire without giving them a chance to dodge your shot. But if they decide to not vault the window, you can easily cancel your shot and hit them with a basic attack instead. Additionally, since there's almost no delay, the survivor must constantly dodge and run erratically just in case the killer decides to shoot. With that in mind, we've made the following changes. You can no longer shoot until you have fully aimed down your sights, and we've increased the delay after canceling your shot before you can start a basic attack, and decreased the movement speed penalty while aiming down sights. Okay. Since the Deathslinger would spend more time aiming down his sights than before if you quickly aimed and fired, we felt it was only fair to increase his movement speed while aiming down the sights to compensate. That seems fair. This will cause you to lose less ground while aiming and keep up with the survivor a little longer. And last but not least, we've increased the Deathslinger's terror radius to 32 meters. Wow. The Deathslinger is the only ranged killer that does not have a lullaby, which means the terror radius, terror radius reducing perks like Modern Abuse could allow you to get close enough to surprise and hit a survivor without them getting any warning whatsoever. Like usual, we have also gone through a few of the Deathslinger's add-ons and given some small buffs to the least used powerful ones. Okay. Now, Plague changes too. The Plague. The Plague has been in the game for a while now, and 2 years, right? And hasn't seen a whole lot of change, but that ends today. We're making a series of quality of life changes that should make her more effective and more fun to play. First, we looked at infected objects. Previously, interacting with something would cause your infection to increase faster. We're adding an additional penalty to interacting with something that is currently infected, meaning your infection will increase even faster than before. Additionally, we've increased the base infection duration on objects, like generators, from 35 seconds to 40 seconds. These changes will make infecting objects feel much more impactful. Yeah, that's very useful. Next, we turn to her Vile Purge. The Plague takes a massive hit to her movement speed when she's on cooldown after purging or canceling her purge. We've increased her movement speed from 2.3 meters per second while on cooldown to 3.6 meters per second. This will cause her to lose far less ground when she does so. One of the things that felt really bad for the killer was when you let of your power button a little too soon. Let go, maybe it means. When you let go of your power button a little too soon, causing your power to be canceled entirely. Now, tapping the button or letting go before the minimum threshold will cause your power to continue charging until the minimum amount has been reached. Basically, it now works like a hunter's hatchet. Okay. Finally, we've increased the time it takes to cleanse at a fountain from 6 seconds to 8 seconds. Like the other killers that are changing in this update, we revisited the Plague's add-ons as well and did a complete pass on some of the less powerful or rarely used ones. Prayer Tablet Fragment. let's see. Vile Purge no longer affects survivors. Increases object infection duration by 40%. Okay, 40 seconds. Increased infection from infected objects by 100%, and devious blood points by 100%. So this is basically like the padded jaws version for plague. Olabanum incense. Survivors who cleanse at fountains have their aura revealed for 4 seconds. Okay, wow, there's a lot in this update, isn't there? Big update. Lots of thoughtful changes. Survivor items add-ons update. Oh boy, surprise! We've also added the description of the item add-ons in this update as well. Like we've done for killers, each survivor item add-on will now list their effects with numbers rather than descriptive terms like moderately, considerably, and so on. Yay! Additionally, add-ons that grant a status effect will also have a brief description of what that status effect does. Nice. Perk updates. Oh, did you think the list last week was all of them? Yes, I did. Windows of opportunity, much like Zancian tactics, we're removing the cooldown from this perk entirely. We're also increasing the range to 32 meters as well. Go away, cooldown. We don't want you here. Wow, windows of opportunity. Increased value. Look at that. Amazing. Repressed Alliance. Repressed Alliance has the potential to save a good chunk of progress when timed well, but due to the high requirements for the perk to activate, it can often not be ready by the time you need it. With that said, we've reduced the time required to activate the perk to 45 seconds. I'm just going to read the tier 3 times here. Built to last. This perk shipped with fairly safe numbers to make sure it couldn't get out of hand, but that ended up making it a pretty unpopular choice. We've reworked it to be far more effective at what it's meant to do. Whoa. Oh, this has completely changed the perk. Hiding in a locker for 12 seconds with a depleted in your item will cause it to refill 99% of its charges. Each use of Built to Last reduced the number of charges refilled by 33%. Reduces the number of charges? Can you do this multiple times? No. What? You can recharge items over and over again by going in a locker? So, okay, so I have used all my flashlight. I go in a locker. I get 99% of my flashlight back. I use all that. I go in a locker. I get 66% of my flashlight back. Go in a locker, 33%. I think that's how this works, if I'm reading this correctly. Wow, that just became very popular for item hogs. Wow. Any means necessary. Previously, we reduced the cooldown of any means necessary and saw more people start to use it. It's still not quite where we'd like it to be, so we've added an aura reading effect on all drop pallets. This way, as soon as it's ready, you'll know exactly where you can use it. That's pretty cool, actually, so that you know where the down pallets are that you can reset. That is a valuable quality of life change for that perk for sure. No Mither, what? No Mither allows you to trade a health state for other bonuses, but these bonuses aren't strong enough to warrant using the perk. We've increased the grunts of pain reduction to 75%. Additionally, we added a 25% increased recovery speed while in the dying state. Wow, I didn't think we'd ever see No Mither get reworked at all. Side note, yes, we know a lot of you use this perk as sort of a hard mode. We're not looking to completely get rid of that, as silly as it may be. Mindbreaker. Okay, and so now they're changing the name of this perk to Fearmonger. I'm not really sure why it's necessary for them to change the names of these perks that come with the Stranger Things chapter, but here we are. If you don't know, Stranger Things content will be leaving the game on November the 17th. If you have it already, you get to keep it, but if you don't own the characters by November 17th, they're going to leave. It will no longer be available for you to purchase. And I think they're just across the board changing the names of all of the perks connected to this chapter. So, Fearmonger. This is a simple one. Survivors who are working on a generator will now suffer from blindness in addition to exhaustion. This will cause the perk to not only prevent the use of exhaustion perks, but also any aura reading that the survivor may have. That's pretty cool. Man, I love this. Might be my favorite update. The hatch and keys. The hatch and keys, by extension, have long been very contentious topics, leading to some heated debates. To say the least, we have some changes incoming to make them a little fairer. First, the hatch will no longer spawn if there's more than one survivor in the trial. This means you'll never have to worry about the last 3 survivors vanishing when there's still one generator left. Wow, chef kiss change. Killer mains rejoice. Additionally, the hatch will now take a few seconds to open with a key once it is closed. Progress does not reset when the survivor cancels the interaction. This eliminates the problem where a survivor can simply sprint straight at the hatch and instantly open it and escape. Love it. With that said, these changes will make the Where Did They Go achievement impossible to obtain, so it will be changed to a escape through the hatch using a key achievement. I wondered about that. Wow. Oh, okay, all the folks are like, they're nerfing Moris again, blah, 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 but nothing done about keys. There you go. I don't think anybody can complain about that key change right there. Impressed. Boone Totems. Oh no. Oh no. Do I have to eat the gummy bear right now? If you don't know, I had a bet with King about whether or not Boone Totems would come into this mid-chapter patch. If they didn't, he had to eat this little nitro gummy bear. If they did, I have to eat this little nitro gummy bear, which is the equivalent of the 900 or 9,000. I think it's like 9,000. Maybe 900 jalapeno peppers. It's like 9 million on the Scoville scale or something. So my mouth is basically going to disintegrate. My jaw will fall off. All right, Boone Totems. As promised in the anniversary live broadcast, we are introducing some new gameplay around totems. These will add an extra objective around the map, and much like Killer's Hex Totems, they are tied to Survivors perks. Survivors will be able to bless a totem to change it into a Boon Totem, and these blessings are designed to offer comfort to the Survivor team. So it's not just for an individual, it helps everybody on the team. A small safe haven. However, unlike a Hex Totem, the Killer can also quickly interact with the created Boon Totem to completely remove the associated blessing, once again turning it into a Dull Totem, and they will also be able to hear the Boon Totem when in its range. Okay. Each survivor can only have one Boon Totem active at a time. The Boon Totem will combine the effects of all their equipped Boon Totems. Boon Totem will combine the effects of all of their equipped Boon perks. Oh, okay, okay. So if you had 3 Boon perks, they would all be applied to one totem that you blessed. Okay, I understand that. This will add some more strategic decisions for survivors to make when it comes to their interactions with totems. So it sounds like a killer can just quickly snuff one of these out, and they aren't destroying the totem, so if you have no-ed, you aren't inadvertently taking away a dull totem that could be your no-ed later in the game. Huh. Very interesting. So, okay, well, I'm going to read on before I say anything else. That's a nice little screenshot there. Wait a minute. With that, we've come to the end of the developer update for real this time. All the changes mentioned in this 2-part post and more, I know what the more is going to be, right? Will be available for testing in next week's player test build. We look forward to hearing what you think. And until next time, the Dead by Daylight team. Okay, wait a minute. When was this written? When was this written? What's the... September 22nd. Okay, so this was written a week ago. So does that mean the PTB is tomorrow? Because it was written... Oh, wait. What is this? Addendum. We're thrilled to see such a positive reaction to the first part of the developer update. We have a small update to something we announced in part 1. Unfortunately, due to time constraints and the size of this mid-chapter, the change to the spirit, which would cause her to kick up dust while phasing, needed to be pushed until further notice. The directional audio will be in the mid-chapter PTB as planned. We've seen some mixed feedback to the dust change specifically, so we'll monitor feedback closely from the PTB and subsequent release to see if this change is ultimately necessary. Okay, yeah, there were a lot of complaints that people said, wow, there's going to be a visual and an audio cue that's a super nerf for spirit. So them holding off on this dust only makes it an audio cue. And, you know, this is what PTBs are for, right? Is to test this stuff and find out what if it's too much, not enough, if things need to be tweaked. That's what test builds are for. Now, the fact that this was written on the 27th would lead me to believe that perhaps the PTB is going to be tomorrow, where it says next week's PTB, public test build. So we may be able to test all of this stuff tomorrow. I'm going to be here looking for it. And it says, and more. Well, how are we going to use these Boone Totems if we don't have any perks that can bless stuff? So I'm pretty sure that we have the new survivor arriving who is going to bring at least one, possibly multiple Boone Totem perks with them. So stay tuned. Wow, this is just chock full of stuff. I can't wait to see how this is going to work. So one thing that I'm grateful for is that the killers are going to be able to snuff out Boone Totems nearly instantly, and they're not going to have to like visually look around the way that survivors look for totem locations. They're going to be able to hear an audio cue to know where it is. So that's good. All right, well, this might be my favorite update of all time. Remember how excited we were when we were like, ooh, we have like new ways to touch generators, and the generators are so fancy. And now I'm pulling levers and doing wires together. We thought that was the greatest thing since sliced bread. This is a pretty good update. You have to admit, like, they touched on so many things. What a huge update. I can't wait to check this out. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that bell like a race so you don't miss the next video. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about all these changes? Are some of them too harsh? Not enough? Just right? Balancing this game is always tricky, so I love to read your comments and see what y'all think. And yeah, so let's see what happens. Hopefully we'll find out something tomorrow. Don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life.